Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, on behalf of your Denver-based podcast crew, we appreciate you joining us for the Friendly Vibes.
I opened it a little too early. Coming to you live from TSS. It's Top Shelf Studios. My name is Sean. This is Intolerable. And I am joined by what I would consider to be a sage in the life path that I am walking. And that is one of a monastery door guy ship trying to learn from the masters, sweeping the Zen gardens of puke and broken glassware post and doing what must be done. He is 4x the experience I have in that position and 4x my experience in stand-up and probably in life. I'm guessing he's a better person than I, too. Funnier, better looking. That. I mean, I'm just really proud that I finally get to wrestle him down and ask him some of the greatest stories. He's got many names. He's Aaron Graham.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How are ya?
Thanks for being here. Sorry for
I will do my best to dispel everything that you just said about me.
Oh, dude. So. Well, I'll still keep it in my heart whether
and actually
it or not.
First thing is that I don't have 4 times the door experience because I was moved pretty quickly into the kitchen and then into the bar. So I did door
too
staff
valuable
at Comedy Works, and I did still pick up or work the door. You never kind of like out of that position until you're like all the way into the next one or something like that. So, but I would say I haven't worked a door shift since 2016.
Oh man.
And then that might even be being generous.
So like Trump might not have even been in office the first time.
Yeah,
last time you saw a door
threw down my door stash, my door staff stash when he got elected. Like, I'm not working for this tyranny. Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go hide where the fries are.
Defend the front lines.
Well, so and when people ask about working at the club as staff member, I always say that the door staff, a very valuable position, but is kind of the like entry level unless you're doing the, any sort of like the office stuff or whatever, which that's not really available to you too much. I know that they used to say, like, hey, do you want to work nights or work days? And then day was like, the like over the phone sales, what they call the fishbowl. I've always been a night owl. So, come from,
they didn't stir you from your sleep to sell?
Nope. And honestly, the people that I would talk, some people have that gift. I never did. And also like, there's a reason I work nights is because I never wanted to have to like put myself to bed early or, wake up too early. It's kind of nice to like find the day instead of be like attacked by it.
Yeah.
So,
let me tell you, as someone that the day has been attacking him for the last 3 years. Dude. It gets old. It gets real old.
Absolutely. Even if you're like, well, you still work and you still like, don't you still have to, be on time for things? And you're like, yeah, but it's a lot easier to be on time for things when your end time is like 5:30 versus 7:30 in the morning or something like that. Yeah. So you kind of start as the door staff and then that kind of, that's where you learn everything about the club. Like,
I'm gonna go back even further in the Aaron Graham story. Where were you born? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Fort Collins.
Okay, so Colorado born and raised, a native, as they say, which is a funny word,
right?
For white people as white as us.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I never, and you'll still see them sometimes. It's the like Colorado bumper sticker, sticker that says native, and you're like, no, you're like. Nobody would put that on their car.
No, it's a good identifier for this is a white woman.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Or someone that just moved here from California.
Right. It's always on a Subaru, exactly. So, and then I don't get as much of the distinction, but sometimes people, they're like, oh, you grew up here in Denver. And I go, oh, like an hour north of here, Fort Collins. And they're like, so you're not a native. And I was like, what? I never said I was anything. I said I grew up about an hour north from here. That's as far as I'll take it. So.
I mean, life is certainly different in Fort Collins than growing up in Denver proper, but like comparably to the United States, it's like about the same.
You're, an hour further from when we used to.
So you're an outdoorsy guy? Did you grow up like doing outdoorsy things?
Ski and snowboarding. Started like skiing when I was young.
Nice.
Also started skateboarding around age 12, so then moved pretty quickly to snowboarding, and I've kept with that ever since.
Damn.
So,
do you shred then?
I try to. I mean, honestly,
You're a terror. Terrorist.
The last, this winter was nothing, so I have one snowboard day under my belt this year, although it was awesome. Me and my sister went up to Copper and got a good day in. But I try to, like ride, a handful of days. Since I've lived in Denver, the sneak, and I don't want to give this away to too many people, is to just go to Loveland Mountain on a good snow day. You don't have to fight the traffic for as long. You're not going to be stuck in it on the way back. You can go up a little 4-hour, 10 to 2, 11 to 3, get back before dinner time or before you even have to work.
His audio.
I'm sorry. Oh, no, you're all good, buddy.
It's the second one where she's been like around for it, and it's a navigating thing.
We
have to put her down.
Oh.
Podcast before. No.
Yeah, absolutely. The show must go on.
Yeah, 10 people have to watch this, so cat's gotta go.
Nope. We got a cat during COVID and now have 2, and
that's fantastic. Honestly,
I grew up with cats, or a cat, I should say, but I remember how awesome they were and have absolutely no problem with.
What was your cat's name?
When I was a kid, black cat named Midnight, named by my sister. Who basically forfeited him to me, but he was our family cat. Lived to be 21 years old.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was the other thing about bringing her. It's like, oh yeah, you might outlive me, depending on
depending on life
turbo
choices,
cancer and whatnot.
Yep. So,
no, they're great. I just I don't know. It's a way to break. At least for me, pets and animals are a way to break that weird cycle that I'm in of constant work or constant grind and never feeling like you're getting ahead. And so then it's like, oh no, life is beautiful. Look at this cute little thing that has such pure joy and a different approach to oh, it's a bird. Oh, it's, I don't know.
Yeah. No, I feel you, man.
We need more of it. We need more ways to be yeah, this is not what I'm feeling, isn't it?
A shitty day can be made better by soft cuddles for sure. So.
Yeah. Cuddle each other if you're out there. Or some mountains, Loveland. So Loveland's the move nowadays?
Yep. Sneak up there. They were doing this thing called the Flex Pass where you paid for a full day, but if you turned your pass back in within 4 hours, they gave you like
a gun
40% back on whatever. So lift tickets are astronomical these days if you don't have a pass, but would be like $60 or something like that. So that's the move. Middle of the day, or it's not middle of the day, middle of the week. Get around the traffic, get your turns in, come back.
Yes. And you get a gun buyback program, kind of. Ski gun buyback.
There's probably some people carrying up there.
Do people carry on the mountain?
No, I've never seen that.
Skiing down.
Maybe, you would say that about Steamboat because you always see the ads of the cowboy on the horse with the skis or something like that. But I think that's probably a sales.
Yeah. I mean, as someone that grew up in Boulder public school system, it's like, oh yeah, lots of different groups do a good job of putting on this is us, and it's a facade type of deal. The Boulder people, that was I'm glad I didn't go to college and remain in the bubble so I could learn about the breaking of the facade, because then I get to constantly break my own facades and be like, oh yeah, I don't know shit about fuck. I think I might know 1 or 2 things, and then it's no, I don't even know that. That was my experience with Door. Did you were you a comedy fan before you got into being?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you
so I actually moved from Fort Collins to Denver to accept the job at Comedy Works, and have been here and with Comedy Works ever since. So that was May of 2013, which is crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So past 13 years at the club. So
wow.
But honestly, so I started on Door, and don't get me, I did work Door for the first 2 years, but I was also trained in the kitchen. So I was kind of if I wasn't working one, I was working the other.
Gotcha.
And at that time, and it still kind of is, the downtown kitchen position is sort of a one person position, at least night of, for the most part. It can get crazy, and a lot of people are trained to be back there, but there was a moment for like 2 or 3 months in 2013 where I was the only person in that station because the kid who trained me back there got hit by a bus on his bike and couldn't work anymore. And then we didn't have anybody come on, get hired until that November. So
at my day job, we joke constantly about, hey, just in case I get hit by a bus, here's how to do this. And that actually happened.
Yep, he got hit on his bike by a bus. So, yeah. But so,
wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you were stuck then.
Yeah,
because you were qualified and good. Yeah. And that's how life works, right?
at least could keep up. I mean, I understood the job for a little bit, and then honestly, that kitchen training and like how busy it can get and the way that you're making food back there is what prepared me to then take a role working behind the bar, because until I got behind the bar at Comedy Works, I wasn't a bartender. I hadn't worked the bar. I mean, I did a lot of work on the other side of the bar, but
yeah,
you know, but
so the chaos, because I mean, probably a lot of people that listen to this know about comedy clubs and whatnot, but like it is a tsunami as opposed to like a restaurant where there's like a regular waves of people. It's all at once, and then everybody has food and drink at once, and then it just keeps going, and then you flip the room, and then it happens again. So if you're in that kitchen,
you
get used to putting out fires. I would assume.
The first hour and a half on a sold out show is, you know, you're freaking sunk, and all you're trying to do is get back to the surface, and then by the time that you do, then you got to do it all over again. So but you know, it is crazy how most comedy clubs are set up that way. It's like, nope, we have a pretty basic kitchen and a phenomenal bar, so order lots of drinks, and then the kitchen will just, you know, get torpedoed every single night. But you know, the person back there, like I will say, is usually the hardest working, because if they can keep up, and by the end of the night they deserve a drink more than anybody.
Oh yeah, well, and I mean, speaking from my experience, I worked at a club called Penguins in Cedar Rapids, is where I, in college, got my first door guy job. Is the food they had was, you know, a heated up frozen pizza and then that's common for a lot of places that run comedy shows, because it's like, wow, food is so intensive in cost and labor and time, and it can go wrong in terms of your liability with your customers, and everybody likes drinks that goes to comedy shows, and
it also
the margins are better. So.
Yeah, well, and it needs to be served in a basket, because you don't have people at booths for the most part. You have them on smaller tables, or, you know, in our case, like basically drink holders, and you know, it needs to be like good enough but not so sloppy that you'd like need a plate and like dinner napkins. You know, you have to be able to like eat it quickly so that you're not like paying more attention to your plate than you are the show.
Yeah,
you know, it literally needs to be like finger food stuff, so that you like, you know, like can find your mouth with it if you're not looking at the basket. So lots of fries, lots of chicken tenders, you know, and then that's the oldest, you know.
So 13 years later, have you only been at the Downtown Club the whole time?
No, we used to do kind of a more regular exchange between the clubs. That is maybe still happening a little bit, but I used to work down south quite a bit.
I don't fit there.
Yeah.
So you're not going to catch me.
What
do you want me to hit my head 100 times a night?
At downtown, yeah.
Come on, that's why I work at South.
Yeah, you could be up in the lobby maybe. They got high ceilings up there.
Yeah, I guess.
But no, and then through the COVID shutdown, South actually opened up before downtown, then closed again, then opened up again before downtown. And then
we had to trust the science, man.
Yep.
That was, what a weird time in the world.
Yeah, no, I'll still look at pictures of the like room configuration from that day, or from those days, and it was, you know, like spaced out tables, you know, a third of what the room is capacity, and you see like they're away from the stage, they're away from each other, and that was like what the sold out shows were, which was like, you know, you're like, oh, okay, that's like a, you know, Monday or Tuesday night now or something.
Yeah,
like
so
that.
at South, so at the third capacity at South, that must have been tough even for the best in the world to feel like they're doing well.
Right.
Because of the setup of the room, just, circumstantially.
Yeah, and just all the, like...
What was the feedback from the comics like that were coming through?
I mean, I think they were just...
happy to be doing it?
Yeah. And then... Because I don't know... were you there pre-COVID?
No, so I was in high school, graduate high school in 2016, went to Mill of Iowa, graduated in 2020.
Okay. And then
didn't get to walk, didn't get senior formal, didn't get any of that.
That's a bummer.
It's whatever. At least I got to just on the back end and not the whole college experience. Would have sucked to be a freshman. Anyway, so then moved back and started working a day job. I had really bad back issues, which I got figured out with spinal fusion finally. So then after my spinal fusion, when I could move, I was like, I got to get out of this rut and I got to do something to move. And I had been a door guy before and I was like, I'm going to go be a door guy again.
Right.
Because it's hard. And that will make me get steps and not just come home from work, feel down on myself, sit on a couch, watch a thing, scroll or whatever, and rinse, repeat, like not living a life.
Absolutely.
So,
yeah, no,
I'm glad I broke out of that.
Constantly moving for sure. So the reason I ask is 2020, when everything shut down, there was like a pretty real feeling that like comedy clubs weren't going to be a thing anymore,
right?
Like, that they would just go away. Now that's because so much was unknown and up in the air at that time. But you're like, I mean, if people like can't go out and have to be a certain distance apart from each other, and don't want to be in like cramped, small, close together spaces, like all of those things are what a comedy club is. So you're like, okay, is that ever going to happen? And then from the performer side of it, all the gigs shut down. So they were like, are we ever going to be able to like be performing anymore? So you started to hear of things like these stage performers funds and different organizations getting slush funds together for like gig workers and stuff like that kind of kept them afloat through that point where no clubs were open. So
damn, if only comedy could get some of that California money.
Yeah, right.
I mean, if they're just gonna waste money, at least waste it on comedians and comedy club workers.
They're taking our water, we might as well get their money. So but so when Comedy Works South opened back up in August, and was one of the like clubs to be welcoming performers, like we got big names, and it was because people just wanted to perform, wanted to be working, and I also don't know if you like remember, because that summer people were like doing
house gigs and stuff.
House
and
gigs,
whatever you
but also
do.
Like gigs in like fields, like drive-ins, like be in your car and listening over the radio, stuff like that, so that the performer wasn't like face to face with you spitting on you, but maybe you could still hear. And people were like literally making it up because nobody had ever like tried to do
their Zoom comedy.
Yeah, absolutely. I did a Zoom comedy show, and it literally was, you sitting in front of and they're like, okay, you're on, go do your act. And you're like, am I performing to the other people on the show? Is there even a like stream? Is anybody watching this? There's no feedback. So you're like, okay, well, let me do my material and pause for whatever presumed laugh. But you're like, what laugh are you pausing for? The person laughing in their cubicle?
So are you, okay, I have so many questions.
Yeah.
This is fascinating. So are you are you standing for it? Or are you just sitting in front of a computer?
Yeah, no, it was just sitting at your desk.
Just wondering, because like usually when you're not when you're doing your act, you're not sitting in front of looking.
Exactly.
So it's like, okay, well that's weird to begin with. Okay.
Well, and then it also kind of depends on what setup people have, because maybe if they were doing like their own shows, they might have like a handheld mic and some sort of backdrop that they actually are performing for. At that time, I didn't have anything. Somebody was just like, hey, will you do my Zoom comedy show? And I go, yeah, I'm not doing anything else, kind of stuck in the house or whatever. So, and honestly, that was the best part about everything opening up back in August, is just like, okay, there's at least...
it's something.
There's at least attempts being made to not like let this disappear.
Yes.
Or whatever. And then it returned because that November, and then just the way
fear-mongering during the winter of death. I remember they told us that the unvaccinated would die. They would have a cruel winter of death and dismemberment.
Right. Well, and
arms and legs would fall off.
Yes, everything was trending in the wrong direction, and it was because everything had got so loose. So
that's right.
Tightened it up. So the club shut back down and then reopened that next February, and then that next summer.
So I came in that summer. Then.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. That August.
2021.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Okay.
No. 2. Yes. 2. Maybe 2.
Nice.
Maybe
so, but honestly, by that next summer, like summer 2021, people were like getting vaccinated, but also I think just like had it enough of being like, dude, like I'm not wearing gloves. I'm not washing my groceries anymore. Yeah. Like not carrying like bleach pens with me or whatever. Yeah. Like when it opens back up, it either better open back up for good or we're just gonna like crumble or something like that. So luckily it had been figured out by that. So then Comedy Works reopened downtown August of 2021. 3 days to start, then 4 days, 5 days. Now we're back to 7 days a week. So, but yeah, I was.
So nowadays, what are you doing there?
I'm a bar manager. So
head bar.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
I'm top door.
Yep.
Down south. So
top dog, top shelf, top door.
Top door. Well. Yeah, I definitely came in with the purpose of like, oh yeah, I'm trying to get physical, and then I was like, oh yeah, I need to be the sound guy because I was like teaching myself to do it on my own. I was like, oh, I gotta learn more, and thankfully I was in a position where people were able to like with open arms be like, yeah, learn.
Right.
And then it's cool at least, and I need to remind myself this more. At 20, almost 29, it's like tough. Maybe that's the window. I just need to get over a few more years and then it all gets fine. But like, gotta remind myself that it's like, yeah, if you just put in like a little bit of just effort or want, you can pretty much do whatever. And like, people aren't trying to stop you. And I think that maybe young people think that people are actively against or want to stop them. And like, that's just not the case.
Right.
People are awesome.
Yeah. Right.
And if you are willing to like go a little hard and go a little extra to try for them, they'll try for you. So.
Well, and so
maybe that's just Comedy Works being awesome and the people that work there being awesome, but I think I've had that experience on a broader spectrum too.
Yep. And I think whatever you're interested in, even if you like have like a outside interest, but you want to change it and get inside, and that's what like when people ask me about the club, about anything related to the comedy.
What do they ask you most?
If you work that upstairs bar, you get every level of question, but it's usually like, do you ever get to meet any of the comics? Yes. Like, oh, who's your favorite one? And you go, man, we have so many come through. Like, I could talk your ear off, but I won't, or whatever. Usually try to dodge that one. Do you do comedy yourself? Yes. Oh, okay. Tell me a joke, of course.
You ready for that? You got a short zinger for that one? What do you like to do for that? I got a new one that I've acquired.
Nice.
That's it, because you constantly getting. But I finally got a new one.
What's that?
Kids ask me in public all the time, how tall are you, mister? Recently, before I answer, I pause and I look both the parents in the eyes before I say 6'7".
Yeah, I bet they go nuts.
And that's not how tall I am, but that's what those parents deserve.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's short enough, I guess, hacky enough that it'll get them to stop talking to me. Oh, you're not a comic, I see.
Dude, there's a Frank Azar billboard in Denver that just says 6'7", and
oh Jesus,
and
the strong arm is even going 6'7".
Yeah, absolutely, and it doesn't say anything else. It's just a picture of him. It says that.
Wait.
There's no context to it. It's not like we'll get you, between 600,000 and 700,000, and something like that. It just says that, and it drives me nuts because I was like, dude, that's
Gen Alpha marketing.
Oh, absolutely,
apparently,
absolutely.
Golly,
and what 12-year-old needs the strong arm? And then also I feel like the kids are past that these days anyway. Now you just have like older like people saying it as the reference to
right.
What
How dumb it is.
Yeah. Well, and what was that? Even just 7 months ago or something like that.
Right.
You think that tween has
also
that
if he's
kind
the
of
strong
attention
arm,
span?
Don't you think if he's going strong arm, if he's decided, all right, Venn diagram includes strong arm and Gen Alpha memeing, Harambe was right there.
Right.
Strongest arms around.
Absolutely.
Did your kid fall into a pit at the Cincinnati Zoo?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, yeah. What is
call the strong arm?
What does a kid's meme have to do with
legal representation?
Yeah. Car crash lawyering.
Well, and he's a ambulance chaser, right?
Yeah, or he's just Denver's, whatever tough guy lawyer, but they're just the face of that like practice, so it's basically
correct. Yeah.
What I would assume,
my understanding is when you get to that level, he is a brand.
Yeah.
And then the people below him doing work for the brand.
Do you need a lawyer? Contact this guy's agency and you'll be handed somebody. So yeah, it's like a caseworker or something like that.
What's the weirdest question that you've ever gotten?
Weirdest question I've ever gotten.
Maybe not from a crazy person because those might have to be thrown out.
Yeah, honestly,
really that's not really a question.
They're all pretty basic. It's just, and then that's what I have said is just like, do you ever hang out with the comics? I was like, it depends on if they drink, because if they drink, they'll usually, come out to the bar with you afterwards or something like that. If it's sometimes it's not even like a bad reason that they don't drink or they can't drink or something like that. Some of the comics are just 60 and they don't want to hang out with the door staff afterwards because they were probably doing that 30 years ago.
Right.
So now you're like, okay, but then younger comics are like, what do you guys do when you get out of here? And you're like, there's a bar across the street. We usually go have some drinks. So do something like that. And then, they don't, you can talk comedy with people forever, but a lot of times it's, if it's cute comics or dudes trying to hit on the waitresses and stuff. Servers. I got scolded by one of our servers back in the day
for saying waitress.
Yeah.
Why?
So we don't go by waitresses. We're servers. I go, okay, that's fair.
Semantic gymnastics. Been going back to then.
Yeah, maybe just seemed outdated or something. We're not waiting, we're serving. You're like, I get it. So
but I'm a door, not a window.
Yeah.
So what if I want to be a window?
Make a better door than a window.
I'm a door. I just don't get it. But that's fine.
But
well, that's sick.
I think honestly, working the door staff at a comedy club is a great way to understand all aspects of the business, because you see the type of people that want to come to a comedy club, how people behave in a comedy club.
Well, you'd also have to be having worked with a lot of door staff, you'd also have to be a person with a brain or want to engage with the things that you're seeing around you. Sometimes you're just floating through life, and that's okay too.
But even like what you're talking about, like knowing why the food menu has to be like pretty, I don't want to say like basic, but consumable in a certain way that doesn't require forks, knives, stuff like that.
Speaking of consumable in a way that doesn't require forks and knives or anything like that, I have to go flip these chicken wings. So we're going to take a brief pause. I'm going to kick us to break with our signature station identification. Have you listened to radio before in your life?
Like the radio?
Like the AMs and the FMs.
Yep.
This is our signature station identification. You're listening to 91.1. Oh shit, was that another plane? We'll be right back.
Vanderplug used to host a brewery podcast. I did that twice. And I think one other one. So actually 3, because I did one repeating.
Well, yeah, we're back. We're live. This is his 4th podcast appearance. We're dealing with a rogue terror cat.
Yeah.
And so is the whole world. But yeah, man, it's exciting to talk shop, but we don't have to do it the whole time. I don't know if you're excited by it or if you're bored by me asking you these silly questions.
No. Hey, I'll always talk the club. I mean, honestly, like I was telling you before we started, I said that, but I moved down to Denver to start working at Comedy Works. I used to drive down from Fort Collins to come see shows, and every single time that I like got in that room, I was like, this is a freaking magical place. Like, it didn't click right away of being like, oh, I should like work here at some point. But every single time I came down, I go, I should come to more shows. Like, I should just be here. As I was finishing up college, which was a pretty protracted process, I always kept.
Why? Because you were studying the ass, or?
Yeah, no, just I didn't have any reason to go to college, so I
reach for a protractor joke there.
Oh, nice. I graduated.
What'd you study?
I was an English major. Am an English major. That's what I graduated with eventually. But
are doing great at it.
Yep, absolutely.
Using it every day.
I know how to words.
Well, that's. I mean,
but I took some time off after high school because I didn't love high school.
Okay.
Then I did a semester at college and didn't really love it. So then I took another year off. Then I went back and got a pretty simple like AA degree at the community college in Fort Collins.
They give Alcoholics Anonymous degrees in FOCA.
Yep.
That's
what is it?
Associates of Arts.
Yeah, Associates.
No,
I was like, honestly, because of alcohol, I don't have much of a memory these days. But so AA, and then took another 2 years off.
So a decade.
Yeah. Oh, nearly. Yeah. No, I graduated college 2 weeks before my 28th birthday. And that's, and then, you always go back to that
badass
Tommy Boy joke. Freaking. No. Yeah, Tommy Boy.
Is it the one that girls stay the same age?
No, that's Dazed and Confused. But Tommy Boy, he goes, a lot of people go to college for 8 years, and David Spade goes, yeah, they're called doctors.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
But, yeah, and, but, so I got the AA degree because that was a way to, like, fast track you to CSU, the university in Fort Collins, and once you like go through the program at the community college, you're pretty much, unless you're an absolute like
complete mess up,
like stub toe, you're gonna get in. So
FUBAR, I think is the term. Fucked up beyond all repair.
So I went to CSU when I was finally ready to complete a degree, and I started in their journalism program. And that year, which was 2008. Hey buddy. 2008. In my journalism 101 class, or whatever, the introductory journalism class, they're like, journalism is dying. It's a dead medium, and you can do everything online without a journalism degree, which is unfortunate.
Day one.
But
that'll be $40,000.
After taking that class, when I got into journalism 2, and they were like, all right, and this is how you like write a byline and prep your sources and stuff like that. I was like, I don't want to do this. So, but I was very much interested in the like writing aspect, so I moved over into the English program, and I was very successful in English in high school also, so I figured it wouldn't be too hard to complete those requirements.
That was the area that you most enjoyed with school?
Yeah.
You seem like your story's saying that you didn't really vibe with school. Or did you get good grades in high school? Or you liked school?
I was serviceable. I was probably like a B student without like an amazing amount of effort.
Okay.
But
what lit up your fire?
Yeah. Well, so like, but that was because I could do well in the stuff that I knew I could do well in.
Gotcha.
So I'm dog shit in math. Somehow I graduated through my high school never having taken a chemistry class, even though chemistry was a requirement to graduate. I still don't know how I did that. And I was
sick.
Yep,
flex.
Yep,
I mean,
exactly. And
definitely not a boron over here.
Yeah. Nope. No. And yeah, was always good. Like, and I like reading. I think that also
I also like reading. There's a few of us left out there.
Yep.
It's shrinking by the days.
And then also like, I mean, like movies have a literacy aspect to them. Like knowing like different parts of that. So like film is very much a part of like, stuff like that. Books being adapted into movies, comic books. Like honestly, one class that I took in college, we read The Watchmen and a couple other comic books, and that was the whole thing. So stuff like that, I knew I could do well in.
Yeah.
Like, can you, tell us what you thought of the Watchmen? Like, yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, I picked the wrong degree, dude. Jeez.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't really done anything with it, but I know how to. I know how to talk words.
It does. I mean, that's what it sounds like. That's what you're doing with it. So, using your degree more than most people can say nowadays.
Right. Well, and then the big presentation of I think all of like liberal arts degrees is like, this will take you far in life, and you can do whatever you want with it. But it's not like another degree where it's like, this will like help you like go to this position and do it well. Like liberal arts is like, figure out what you want to do and then like understand basic concepts and then talk them to people or something like that. So that's what I've managed to do.
Yeah, I mean, I went to a small liberal arts school, so I feel you. Tried to overpower it by studying economics, pre-law, and business with minors in religion and philosophy, but it's just like, yeah, same thing, where it's like, yeah, how completely useful is all that? Mm-hmm. The most useful thing is probably my like applied like dissertation or whatever, and like the thing I'm interested in and engaged with, and it's like, oh, that's people should be digging into that part of themselves and not wasting their time with most of the crap that we're all doing.
Right. Yeah, I wish honestly, I would have found maybe like economics a little bit more, maybe just like some micro and macro stuff, just to like
understand.
Yeah, have some like big picture stuff, and then or like actually this can be whittled down to some pretty like.
I've been trying to figure this out, but like maybe I'm the one to do it. Like, and maybe someone else has done it and I just don't know about it, and I need to be like informed. But like 30 minutes. Jokes, but it's like teaching core economics, because like you could do jokes around models, like you could teach models through jokes. That would be interesting.
Yeah. I wonder honestly if you're like, now they're like, you go and take economics 101 and then your first class they're like, economics is dead, it's all Kalshi and Robin Hood and prediction marketing and stuff like that. Just figure out that stuff.
Well, I mean, fair. They did tell me on day one, they're like, this is the dismal science. They call it that for a reason. I'm like, I'm already depressed. I shouldn't be here. It's the wrong science for me. But no, I think, everybody could do with a little better understanding of what the fuck's happening around them, because it's typically, at some level or another, abusing them if they don't know about it. A little dirty secret of information. The people with the information prevent abuse of the systems because of that information, typically throughout history.
I was noticing the posters on your wall. Are those all like club flyers?
These are all shows that I've run at South and been on the board for.
Nice. So I love this. This is actually a
so you'll like this more. You like that, you'll love this. And I've been broken this out for very many people. But
nice.
I started about 6 months in, and I was like, why the hell am I writing on sticky notes? So this is like 6 months into a year and a half.
I think I might be in this book
you
somewhere.
You probably are.
For maybe just the like staff open mic or something like that. No, the reason I was giving you props about the
or new faces maybe?
Yeah.
Were you in like round 2?
I am this year. This is the first year that I've moved on.
Dude.
So
congratulations.
Hey, thank you, buddy. But no, probably being on one of like Tobler's shows or maybe Stanley or Thick Skin or something like that.
For sure. Or Corey David Interrogation.
Oh yeah, I did Interrogation. The reason I bring up the posters is like having them framed on the wall is a great example. I feel like, and every door staff does it. I feel like the first like 2-3 years where you get posters of your like favorite performers, which that in and of itself is like a great perk to the job. You get them signed and blah blah blah. But my first year, I was getting the like full like window, like tall posters or whatever, and I would get those signed.
So
and then
cool.
They are, but then after like 3 years, when you feel a little bit more like comfortable with the place, you're like, am I really gonna like post this on my wall?
Nah.
Like Mark Maron saying "we good,"
right?
Or something like that, or Joe DeRosa's like headshot, and you're like, yeah, all right. And like at the time, it seemed like a good idea, but so I have a box of rolled up
I'll buy them off you.
Windows posters. Honestly, I would probably give them to you, but they're made out to me. So,
that's fair.
And then
keep them then, dude.
Yeah. No, I mean, it is great memorabilia. I'm not knocking that. I'm saying your way of displaying them is a lot better than my like box of rubber banded posters.
Well, this show since its infancy has all been like applied learning by doing and fucking up along the way, and that's something that I learned along the way. I have a lot more posters I need to hang. As you can see, I've got 2 more there. I need to rearrange the wall.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I just try to be a good sponge. And I'm lucky to be in a cool, amazing city at a great club for the art form that I know I would like to get better at for however long I get to live.
Right.
I'm large, I'll die young, so I just hope I can beat the timer on getting funny.
Yeah, there you go.
So I can be moderately funny before I die.
It's good to have goals.
Set the bar high.
Oh, this is awesome, man. I mean, it even just has that.
So yeah, I get so I'm the sound guy, and I
didn't sign it, but bucket spot.
There it is. There we go.
April 5th.
I even wrote
24. You down. Yep.
There you go. Look at that.
Yeah,
that's how much respect I had for Aaron even back then. I wrote him down, bucket spot.
Oh wait, no, I was on you have a hard cut for a bucket spot, so this was a booked thick skin.
Booked.
Yeah. So dude, this is awesome.
But yeah, so I have a second. I'm on the second book.
I was gonna say,
looks way lamer and less cool. It's more school bookish.
This also looks like the freaking journal from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
So yeah, I would get questions from comics all the time when I'm like getting their light times and everything, and like who's your favorite signature in the book, and those types of impossible questions that you talk about getting from people that come to the club, and it's like the best story I have from the book that I tell. I said this before, probably on the pod, but is that John Lovett signed the book, and then later that night charged a lady $60 for an autograph.
Nice.
Dude, that's the best story.
Yep, it's already saving money.
Gotta make money.
So, but yeah, no, that's definitely the awesome part about working at the club is that you get to
we keep it all off camera too, so people don't really know what we're talking about. We're just
it's a wall of 11 by 17s, and the reason I know that size is because those are the ones that are good to frame. I have a couple of those.
What are you? So yours are what, 28 by 52?
No, so that was just from the first year because I'd be like, and then this is the funniest is I wonder if he would care that I freaking tell the story, but
you're 42 minutes in. People got to work for it. Right. I won't clip it.
No, for sure. So honestly, just Ari Shaffir was at the show, and my cousin, who's also a big comedy fan, was like, "I love Ari, dude. Can you give me an autograph or something like that?" I go, "I'll do you one better. Like, I'll get you the signed poster from the weekend or whatever." And Ari's always been cool. He's always been good to us at the club, and I got the full like window size poster, which isn't like room poster size. It's like one and a half of that. Like they're big.
They're huge.
So I go, "Hey Ari, cause it's
like 3 of you."
Yeah, exactly. I know. I could, I could roll up in one like a freaking burrito or something.
Emergency sleeping blanket.
I go, "Hey, and Ari's just such a freaking like dickhead, and I mean that in the best way." But I go, "Hey Ari, big fan. My cousin's an even bigger fan, and he would love it if you signed a poster for him." And he goes, "Absolutely. What's his name?" All right, signs his name, and then over his own face, he put the Charles Manson swastika in between the whatever, and then was like, "Good luck hanging that in your bedroom," or something like that.
Genius.
And they go, "All right." And then I gave it to my cousin, and he goes, "What am I supposed to do with this? I can never advertise it." Yeah,
completely wrong. He has a gem of a poster, and that's his response.
Absolutely.
Joanne McNally, or McNally, I loved what she did with hers. She was the first person she drew on herself. The fun. She's an Irish lady. She's hilarious. My favorite of the signatures is the Adam Freeland signature that says "I love you."
Nice.
That gets me through the tough days.
Right. So,
but yeah, it's fun, and it's just fun to soak, like really be like, I just have like a overly analytical brain, and seeing all the different styles and ways to like kill a room is like, man, this is the only art form that I've been able to find or get excited about in life that has no completion. There is no ending. It's constantly evolving. It's like, I think that satiates my insatiability of curiosity. So, Lord willing, keep getting better. And
so, while I was finishing up college, I always had the toolbar we used to have on computers now, before they were all your phone. But in the toolbar, I had ComedyWorks' website saved, and every couple of weeks, I would always check the website to see if the club was hiring, and they never were. I was like, it's got to be impossible to get a job there. It's got to be crazy.
And it is.
And it is. Don't even try.
Don't even fucking think about trying.
But since I have worked there, and it still is impossible, but also the turnover rate is incredibly high. So I learned later that if you are checking maybe more regularly than I was, you probably could have come down and got a job in 2010.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Oh, sound effects.
You pressed the big mic one too. That one's dirty.
DJ Olive Cat.
I haven't seen that behavior before, where she just sprints around the room. But
might see a little I don't know, interesting specimen under the couch over here.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So
sorry,
no, not at all. But so when I finally did, I finished up college, and
so you were just like me.
Yep.
You saw it after this, because I used to joke in college, and I said this in my interview with Ashley and Bree when I interviewed. I was a door guy in Cedar Rapids, and I was like, "Oh, don't kill yourself, Sean. Maybe if you make it through, you can be a door guy someday at ComedyWorks." Yeah. That's all I could aspire to do, is be a minimum wage door guy.
Okay, again, it's good to have goals, but so when I came down, interviewed.
Did your interview go better than that?
My interview was incredible, and so I had traveled around for 6 months before coming back to Colorado, and honestly, I knew this was something that I was pursuing because I went and visited friends in most of the major cities, but every city that I went and found the comedy club. So I visited a buddy in Philly and went to Helium. I went to visit another friend of mine in New York City. I went to Comedy Cellar for the first time. Then
Epic.
Went back to the other side of the coast, got to LA, went to the Comedy Store and the Laugh Factory. Was it the same night? I think it was back-to-back nights. And was like, okay, obviously this is something that I'm interested in. And then I ended up coming back to Colorado for my cousin's high school graduation, and just happened to look at the website for ComedyWorks, and they were hiring. I dropped off an application, didn't hear anything for about 3 weeks, was actually about to go back out on the road again, just hey, I'm going to spend the rest of my cash that I have, and wherever I land, I'll just figure it out from there, or something like that.
How old are you at the time?
I was 29. I had just graduated college late.
I'm gonna do this next year.
So yeah. Right as I was getting ready to be all right, where's the next place to go? And I wonder, what club would I go bananas in Cincinnati, maybe, or something.
Yeah, that was the alternative.
that was going to be the next one. But I got a call from ComedyWorks. Hey, can you come in for an interview? I came in. The interview went well, but I had borrowed my mom's car, and I didn't know anything about parking in downtown Denver. So I put it at a meter, thinking that the interview was going to go for 25 or 30 minutes or something like that. Tip to tail, it actually ended up going 2 hours. So the last 45 minutes, I was like, I'm getting a ticket. I know that I'm getting a ticket in my mom's car. And
so she's getting a ticket.
Yeah. And so, and that's what I was worried about. All right. But finished up the interview. It went well. I had made kind of the same thing, made it known. I was like, I've been traveling around, just going to comedy clubs. This is a world I want to
this is the best,
be a part of. So got back to the car, no ticket, score. And then 2 days later, I got a call. Hey, and Juliet joked with me. She's like, how dare you turn in a resume with these, what do they call them? Character references. Every single person said they hate you. And I was like, what? I was like, I only gave you people that would give me glowing references. And I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, no, everybody said you're great. Do you want to come work here?
Yeah.
And I go, yep. She goes, can you start tomorrow? I go, yep. And then I basically figured out how to move to Denver and start working at Comedy Works
in one day.
In a day. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So
and life changing.
Yep.
Been there ever since.
Absolutely. And that was just past 13 years ago. So
that's crazy.
But yeah, and that's so one question, and this isn't so much from like the customers of Comedy Works, but like other comics, people who come through and they're just like, what's like advice for like how to get into comedy or get around comedy. And that's just my advice, is just get around it. Like, find a place that you think is doing it correctly and go see if that's true. Like I say, every time I left Comedy Works as a patron, I was like, this place is awesome. Like, I should be here more often. And then once I was like, oh, okay, started working there, that's what opened me up to knowing about open mics, and that there was a larger comedy scene, and that there was other smaller comedy clubs that weren't just Comedy Works, and then that there's a greater Denver scene, and that those scenes are actually connected to other scenes around the country, and that people like come from other clubs knowing about Comedy Works, and then come from Comedy Works to go to other clubs, and then pass that information around and stuff like that. And then you start seeing.
That's so funny, because I'm a couple years younger, and so I'm in the generation where I got, because you had the technology, because the technology was there, I could listen to the 4-hour conversation between the comics and then like slob the knob of Comedy Works about how amazing this place is compared to everywhere else, and how the road's horrible, but Comedy Works is amazing. I'm in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, like, oh god, Comedy Works is so cool. Like, how did I never go there before leaving Denver? It's like, oh yeah, I wasn't 21. Right. So.
Yeah, honestly, mine was one of those, like, and I'll still go back to, like, I should have done this years earlier. So I got hired there 3 weeks before my 30th birthday, and now I'll see new kids get hired at the club and they're like 21, and I'm like, oh man, if I could just go back to 21 and start there. Now granted, freaking who knows if it'd still be alive freaking starting there at 21, but
facts,
who knows. So
well, and then I've got some door guys at South that join my squad that are like, it's a second job for them, and they're like fathers. And it's like, that's trippy, bro.
Well, yeah, no, I mean,
like cool, like good on. I'm so glad that you're like, yeah, I want to like do an extra thing to like kind of break the norm or do the same thing I was doing. It's like, yeah, that's awesome. But yeah, and it's. I think I've got it narrowed down. There are only 2 types of people that work as door people, and we're talking long run, more than 2 years at comedy clubs, major comedy clubs in this country. And those are addicts and autists. They fall into one bucket or the other, or both buckets. And unfortunately, I realize that this is the community I belong with.
No, I think aspiring comedians in their own right, or people that just love it as like more than a hobby, for sure. Because everybody wants to go.
Even some of them don't though. Yeah. That's what's weird to me. Some of them like don't give a fuck, and I'm like, how do you not care? Like, doing this amazing job and you don't like care about the comedy thing? Like, that's so strange to me.
And this is again not a knock on any of our servers, but servers are there because you can make good money at a comedy club.
They shouldn't give a fuck,
and
right?
But then also the like comedy or the connection to it is secondary, whereas I think the other position, the like interest in comedy, comes first for longer tenured employees, because it won't keep you there unless you're like wanting to be around it secondarily.
That hurts me. That hurts God when you do that. That hurts me. Yeah, I also think like if I'm thinking from like an ownership or a business perspective, from an economic lens, it's like, you definitely don't want to serve. Well, one, you have to separate, is it a developmental club or is it not? And technically, Comedy Works is not a developmental club. No. So, that being said, there are facets by which to develop while working at Comedy Works, but it is not a developmental club, meaning that the door people aren't hired as comics that audition. That's basically just a differentiator. I don't know. Like, I think any club can be a developmental club if you approach it with the right mindset. Like you said, if you're just getting around the thing, you're bound to find someone else that's like, hey, come to this thing with me. Come to this mic. Come do something fun.
That was my first shift because I got introduced to the door guy who ended up getting hit by the bus months later. But when I was introduced, he goes, and kind of cynically, like, thinks he wants to be a comic over here or something. And he's like, really? We could go to an open mic tonight. Let's go. And we went to an old iteration of the Squire open mic. And I say old because that was even before the room got rearranged. And the kind of the way the Squire looks now is a lot different than it looked when I walked in there. And I walked in there being like, oh, and this is the scariest place to do comedy, something. And I was like, okay. And we walked in and I was like, yeah, I would be pretty nervous. And he's like, I'm going to put your name up. I was like, dude, I wouldn't even know what to do. I don't have jokes. Like leave me alone, and got real nervous real quick. Then, go to a couple more and you're like, okay, you like kind of like feel the
most
vibe
of these
a
people
little
are
bit,
horrible. Some of them are just reading from the therapy journal. I could just talk. It'll be fine. I'm not going to die.
Yeah. But then you also, when you see people.
And then you bomb. And you're like, oh.
See people, then you bomb.
Or did you never bomb?
No. Oh, man. Oh, I've done every step that you can do. Absolutely. Like the admit way too much on stage, and then be like, man, I hope that people that I don't have to interact with ever in the future. I
had a fun one on the road recently, like just getting these first like road experiences, and felt comfortable enough that this black gentleman was in the front row and enjoying the thing that I was going to try this bit about being a tall guy with black friends in college. And it's like, yeah, it didn't do well. It's like, but he gave me the confidence to try it, and I wouldn't have tried it in a Denver open mic or whatever. So it's like, well, at least I'm bad.
I don't know if this has happened to you, and it's been a little while for me, but there would be, especially like first starting out, but also like first couple years of doing like just open mics and stuff. You'll say something, you'll have a bad set, and that is fine, but wake up in the middle of the night, kind of coming out of it to realize and be like, oh man, did I really do that? Did I really say that? Did I really whatever? And luckily nobody cares or is paying attention to you at an open mic for the most part. So it's not like somebody's really going to like hold your feet to the fire about
let me
something.
Think, Aaron, man, probably tens of thousands, if not tens of thousands of my bullshit voice like on the internet. Like, no, I have no idea what. Every single fucking time I do this silly show, I'm like, this is dumb and so embarrassing and horrible. So yes, I do get that.
Yeah, wake up in the middle of the night. What the fuck did I really?
Why am I doing this? This is dumb. No one cares. Everyone thinks it's stupid. Yes.
But then I think that does go back to what you were saying, addicts and stuff like that, because. Yeah, why would you go back to the thing that like woke you up in the middle of the night and you were like, I can't believe that I did that, and then you go back and do the exact same thing 100 more times.
Yeah. So. Also, for me with the pod, it's been trippy and weird. I've like, maybe it's because I've done it for this period of my life from 24 to 28, but like it's made me grow, and maybe it's part of talking to strangers. Like we haven't really hung out before this.
No, a couple times.
In passing
downtown and south, and then maybe Christmas party stuff.
So it's like,
but you've always been real cool to me. So when you hit me up to do this, I was like, yeah, absolutely. Let's chop it up.
Well, I'm just like, I've realized I could always be learning from other people, and that even the people that I might think if like old, younger, more naive self was like, nah, I don't need that person in my life. Those are the people I've been like excited to dig into and like learn more from. And I
got the cat stoppage time.
Cat stop.
That's I'm getting ready
Sean
for the
was
World Cup.
Pontificating too much. Kat said no more.
She is a great producer.
Yeah, she knows. She's like, this is shit. He's like, you're right when you're saying before that you should stop. No, the cycle has been weird. Of like, I started with asking loose high school acquaintances to come to my home and just talk talk to me for a long form thing.
Hell yeah.
And people were like, oh, like, that's weird. Or my friends were like, oh yeah, whatever. Like, and then people were excited about it. And then he gets a few in and people are like, why are you still doing that thing? Which is totally fair. And then it got a little further in and it was like, good to see you still doing that thing. Yeah. And then it got a little further in and then I had like open micers in the scene that like reached out to me. And it was like, okay, cool. Like I should keep doing the thing. It has purpose beyond myself now. Right. So I just keep fucking doing this stupid, embarrassing thing.
Hey. Don't we all? You're like, well, it's gotta lead to something, even if it's just a good way to talk to people. A good hang, absolutely.
Yeah, we get good chicken out of it. Out of the deal.
Like I was telling you earlier, your cat's doing a lot better with the cone than either of my two cats. Both the one refused it after like an hour at home, and then the other guy's just a maniac. He bonked it off and then was just like, are you really going to put it back on? We're like, all right, just don't.
What are the vets doing telling me that I need her not to jump for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Like, do you want me to, like, put her in, like, old-timey chains going into the Coliseum as a lion? Like, she jumped right away.
Right. I think they say it so that they're covering their ass in all aspects. They're like, once you take it home, it's on you. And then if you come back and you're like, my cat's bleeding, they're like, what did you do? And you're like, all right, leave it alone. But cats are, I mean, the best part about cats is they're so like self-sufficient that, if you're like, hey, lick your wounds till they're freaking clean, I guess. So.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. That's the nice thing of, like, now that I've got her spayed, I don't want to take away any sovereignty, and clearly she doesn't want to just be in here. As much as she doesn't enjoy being in here when we have guests, but she can be an indoor-outdoor cat, and that's her. She's been outside for her life to this point, so she's happy like that, and I need to be okay as a big-hearted dude of like, yeah, if something happens, like, it would be against my foundational beliefs to constrain the sovereignty of this other entity.
Absolutely. Well, yeah. What do you want a cat that's miserable as a prisoner, or do you want one that's, willing to, hopefully, just watch out for the dangers of the world?
Yeah, that's the other thing that all my coworkers are like, no, you can't do it. She's gonna get hit by a car. It's like, yeah, probably, maybe, but I like get hit by a car. Like, we can all get hit by a car.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know if that's a way to go get by either.
Let's see.
Did you grow up with pets?
We just had the one cat. So actually, let me back up. We tried dogs 3 times. The first one worked out well. It was a dog, but it kind of got like too big for the house that we had at the time. I think
it's britches.
Yep. I think that it actually is where my parents were like, because it would just jump over our fence and then be roaming around, get caught by dog catcher, go pick it up, bring it back. Like that happened, I don't know, any number of times. And then they were like, all right, we got to like give this dog like a better situation. So I don't think that it was like, the quote unquote myth of like giving it to a place,
farm upstate
thing. I think that they did, but that was when I was like, I think 6 and God damn it, I was about to say 7, motherfucker. So when I was less than 10, let's say.
Adolescence.
Yeah. And then the 2 dogs we had after that was one small dog, honestly, about this size, that would get under the fence. And then we just gave that one back because he was a shithead. And then another dog that was incontinent and peed all over not only house and yard, but like people when it would meet them. So we didn't have very much luck with dogs. And then we got our family pet Midnight. Oh no, actually we did have a crazy cat that also didn't work. God damn, I haven't thought about this in like 30 years.
Hell yeah. It only took an hour, but I got a 30-year-old memory out of him.
Sydney, the crazy cat, and then that one was returned, and then we finally got our cat Midnight, and then he lived with us. And
what was so crazy about Sydney?
I think probably a street cat that was suddenly in a home with people that he wasn't familiar with. So just had like bad attitude, never really warmed up to adults or us as young kids, which was probably around the same age, like 7 or 8 or something like that. But then we had Midnight, who lived to be 21, which is crazy.
What is the average age? Like, what can I expect?
I think it can go like on the higher end to the like 20-year mark. I think I saw something that like the like oldest cat was like 27 or something like that. So
wild.
But also, you know, like,
get out of here.
As long as nothing happens to you know, injure or harm them, I think you're probably looking at like probably 15, 16 for adult cats.
Wow. Well, they say that she's around 1, but that's just what they say. I mean, there's no... I tried to count the rings, but it's not a tree.
Rings on the tail.
There should be something to... Like, I'm sure there is, but I don't have the money for it. I'm sure you could send a DNA or they'd tell me.
Does Ryan still work at South?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember
yes,
he was bringing his drums on stage before Thick Skins when they
really?
Yeah. And
the server. Ryan the server.
No, Ryan with the glasses.
Nope, doesn't work there anymore.
Burmeister? Yeah. Okay, so yeah, no it was a different Ryan, but yeah, very
I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah, very unique individual, and I think he was sound guy as well. But,
well, damn.
Yeah, it was basically bring his whole drum kit down and play for the like hour of seating, and then Thick Skin would happen after that. And it was when Stanley was still living out of town, so the shows were only like, you know, once a month or like, you know, kind of irregular that, but he had agreed to it, and then he would just play. And then he tried to get a show going that was like video game themed, and I think he also brought the drums down for that. So I just hadn't seen Ryan in a little while.
That's sweet. No, I didn't know there was I mean, he sounds like a way cooler sound guy than me.
I don't know.
I just run the 1s and 2s.
Hey, you got a podcast. He's got a drum kit.
Yeah, dude. I mean, ripping on the drums is way cooler. Just undeniably. I keep looking around for my phone because I'm like trying to make sure I don't overcook these wings. And I had a timer, but I might have accidentally left it inside of my haste. Real professional. Oh, here it is.
Here we go.
And I didn't set the timer, so now we do have to feel it out. And you know what? I've felt it out enough. It's time. If you want to join us for the eating of these delicious chicken wings and support this ad-free, non-sponsored podcast, one of the few left in America. And it's going to stay that way, damn it. Because of you over at patreon.com/tolerable. You can get in for $2 a month. Now, let me just do some quick economic math for you. That would be equivalent to like a cheap rack of beer that you'd be buying in the studio over the course of an entire year. And I will also let you know this. I'm making hats by hand. I should probably have them here for promotion. It'd be a great tool. So if you join, you get a handmade keychain right away. And then as soon as you send us enough money that it's the cost of the hat, I send you a hat. So it's like a free hat and content.
Mm-hmm.
And you're helping great guests get smoked meat. So just hop over at patreon.com/tolerable. And you want to kick us to this break? You want to make up a signature station?
Oh, yeah. I was trying to remember. And we're headed out 91.1. The Feast.
We're back. We're live. It's the After Hours show. And both of our bellies are full of chicken.
Yep. Our fingers stink.
And you know what that means? It's time, Aaron... MadDog, yeah. Rufus.
Yeah.
I need a wing review.
Dude, those are top notch. I don't know where I would favorably compare them to. Maybe like Fire on the Mountain or whatever. I like that. It's like, is it dry rub? Honestly,
yep, dry rub.
So yeah, perfect, top notch.
Just rub them, throw them on the smoker.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I would say exceptionally cooked, juicy. Giant Wings. What'd you say? Tony's, not
Tony's.
Kroger.
Shout out to Tony's Meats Market.
Mm-hmm.
Sponsor the pod, why don't you?
Right? Hey,
the only sponsor that I would really actually consider.
And it wouldn't have to be monetary. You could be paid to meet.
And be a local business, small family business.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely. We'll shout you out. You provide the meat. Hey,
if I was a better businessman, it would already be happening.
Meet us in the middle.
Yeah, meet me in the middle. Do you want to put it on a traditional 10-point scale?
I would say to 8.8.
Hell yeah! Wow,
yeah, upper eights, and
wow.
I mean, it's a good wing when you don't need freaking ranch or blue cheese. So
that's true. Fair enough.
I didn't even, and I love Sweet Baby Ray's, but after the first bite, I was like, dude, we're already there.
Well, you're from the wide right era of knowing good wings in Denver.
Yep.
So I had to bring my big guns to try to impress.
There you go. Wide right. R.I.P. Those were the
staple.
Best wings in Denver, in my humble opinion.
That's what everyone tells me, and I would agree. I had them at least twice, and
No, Megan knew what she was doing. Excellent cook. Ran that bar for 5 years, and I don't know. Talk about well done. I don't know how she kept that place, because they took it over like 4 months before COVID happened, and then kept it open 4 years after COVID happened. So
wow.
I don't even know, but we had a great time, great hang.
That was the spot.
Yeah.
Well, here in the after hours, this is where we could get deeper, darker. We talked mostly about comedy and our journeys being around an awesome club.
Mm-hmm.
Grateful for that. You personally, on your comedic journey, have been spreading your wings more and more, it seems, right?
Trying to, yep. That's when I'm not working at the club or the brewery, then I...
Yeah, so here's a good question that you might be able to answer for me.
Mm-hmm.
It's rare that we can get advice on the path from others, but as someone that's working multiple jobs, one of them being around comedy, how do you reconcile the reps thing?
Getting up every night and stuff like that.
Yeah, like it not being good enough unless you're getting up every night or blah, blah,
blah. You know what? I kind of fell like backwards into having multiple jobs. For the first 7 years that I worked at the club, that was the only job that I had. So when I wasn't there, I was like going to once I got really involved in it, not right away, but when I was regularly going to open mics, but I would be doing that 3, 4, 5 nights a week on top of being at the club 6 nights a week. So I was watching a lot of comedy and then trying to find shows after. Denver, honestly, at that time, and still is good for late night open mics if you can find them. And you can, honestly, especially if you're downtown. If you're a little bit more remote, might be tough to do late night mics. I mean, that's what Wide Right was. We would start the show at 9:00 and we would go till the last comic on the list, which was regularly pretty much close to 2 a.m.
Wow.
And Wide Right wasn't alone in that. Lion's Lair goes late, Scruffy's goes late, middle Monday night mic at the Irish Rover was I could never make it because I was usually working, or I would be working thick skin, and that's a great show to come to early, so you can get your reps in multiple shows in a night sort of thing, but you have to be willing to either start early or stay late, and more often than not both in some capacity. So whether you're watching an actual showcase show or headliner show, or just staying at an open mic for 4 hours to do 4 minutes, it all adds up. So, and I know even our club comics who are getting regularly scheduled at the club will still go to mics or are hosting mics afterwards. So you're not oh, I did one show tonight, so that's good enough. It's nope, you need to run as many as you can, as much as you can, until you're comfortable enough to like be going on stage that way every single time. So, and again, it just goes back to like being around it. You're like, well, what's like the open mic scene like? Because you start to see the same people, and you like are like, okay, well, I this is my schedule on Monday. This is my schedule every Tuesday. These are the mics I go to Wednesday, Thursday. I used to, and I really like the Monkey Barrel mic on Thursdays. I used to go there after I got off the club on Thursdays. I think Monkey Barrel asked him to move it up or something, like a year and a half ago or something. So I haven't been able to make it to that mic since I work on Thursdays. But I used to like scream over there to try to make it in the last 10 minutes before they like capped it, or not even capped it, but before it was just over. And you go up and most people have left, even the like comics who had already gone up are outside smoking or like just out of the building, and you go up and you're like, hey, can I sign up? And you see the exhaustion in the host's eyes of being like, I already brought up 40 people, but yeah, like let's do another one. And if you can actually make it, and then you go and do your 4 minutes to 3 people in the room that is meant to hold 50 or 60 or something, and you're like, well, but I just had to get a set in, even if it's just like saying the things that you want to say in the right order or something like that. So yeah, I think once you're doing it, you're in it, and as much time as you can carve out. I mean, it's if it's not your first job, and I mean maybe we all want it to be our first job, like it's paying the bills, but if it's not yet, then you got to treat it like, okay, well that now I go from my first job to my second job, or my second job to my third job, and in the meantime you're like, okay, and then you got to like figure out that schedule to.
So I got to drop jobs.
Yeah,
because right now it's my 4th job.
Right.
Yeah, just not gonna. I mean, or I just wait 15 years to even get funny.
Yeah.
One of the two.
Well, I mean, you're working it out on the mic here.
I guess
you're,
I mean, I will say this. I'm not like eating shit, and I'm not. Garrett told me, he's like, he gave me a spot at a show, and I did well, and he's like, it's good to see you getting better, even though I see you not working. Oh, no! Oh. You bastard!
I knew there was a reason I kept the paper towels close.
Big tail.
All right. Yeah, she's like, you're getting too loose with these beers anyway. But
yeah, so I guess that's my like thing of like fighting a battle of knowing I'm not doing enough work to get demonstratively better quicker, but also like trying to do the work in the dark and getting better in little ways. And I don't know. Mm-hmm. I'm never going to make it because that's just the odds. So it's like, why does it fucking matter either way?
Well, I mean, that depends on what your version of making it is. I mean, if you just
making it would be, I get to do like something like if I like literally making it would be like being a region, like a local guy, like an local old head would be awesome. Like that's all I need. I don't need any like crazy wealth, fame, fortune. I just would like to still be excited about it when I'm older.
Yep. No,
that would be cool.
And I think that's again
attainable,
and it's good to have goals. So
yeah, and I've long said I think I could be the person handing the funny joke to someone else to do it even better. So.
Well, and I've also heard and felt that, like, if you're doing it for, like, the love of the game, basically, like, you want to be a person either telling jokes or in the world, and the currency of that world is to be telling jokes and performing them, and then talking about it. How did it go? Could it get better? Could it get, just passing the stories around of like, what was your worst set? What was your best set? Like, when did you have a fight with somebody, and a lot of people don't have those, they don't have the like, guy rushing up on stage and freaking throwing a beer at you moment or whatever. But the people that do are like, yeah, that was like crazy. So a lot of being in it is just your own like interest in continuing to do it, I would think.
Yeah. And I don't know, maybe it's just for me, but like I'm pretty certain that I'm getting more out of watching and working for a master than I am doing a 4-minute set for nobody listening.
Mm-hmm.
Now, doing a 10-minute spot or 5-minute spot for a crowd that's listening is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a hard time believing that some of those open mic spots are more valuable than running the soundboard,
right,
for someone who's better. Like, I think you can get more compounded growth in learning about the art form that way than like listening to people read out of their journal or doing it. There is, I think, some negative compounding that happens with the open mic scene sometimes, where like if you get stuck in that, only that. I mean, I think that's what Austin's going through right now, where they are being labeled as like shock value, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's lots of comics in Austin that are frustrated by those labels because they're maybe not that. But that's the open mic driven, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I think. Mm-hmm. I mean, they have the largest open mic on earth there, but that's what drives it all. So, hopefully you have open mics like Denver where people are fucking hilarious and you want to get better because everyone's doing a good job. Mm-hmm. So,
and honestly, like sometimes it kind of is, what would you say, even like regional in the scene itself, because there's people running shows and open mics on the south side of Denver and you're like, man, I don't know those people at all, and they probably feel the same way about you. They're like, oh yeah, I don't know the like downtown rooms because we're running them over here and stuff like that. Like one time I saw a room had an open mic over in Cherry Creek, and I was like, oh, there's Cherry Creek. And then I had said that to somebody and they're like, you've never done that room? That room's awesome. And I was like, in Cherry Creek? And they're like, it's not a Cherry Creek room, it's it's in Glendale. And you're like, oh, okay. You're like, there's shows going on in Glendale?
There's a room in Glendale?
Yeah.
Where?
So I couldn't tell you. This was a couple years ago, and honestly, even
now I'm closer to Glendale.
Exactly. Even saying that,
when I need the room in Glendale.
And then that's why like Denver was and is good to have.
Do you think? Can I ask you this serious question before we get to them? Because I only have heard this from other people, and I'm too removed to have a good take on this. But do you think it's that the mic scene or show scene, the up and coming scene in Denver has taken a step back or has fallen off?
No, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I think people are just trying to like find more rooms. Honestly, the not to avoid your question, but what I will say is that I'm always sometimes just in awe of when I see new shows pop up, and it's not like, hey, we're running a showcase here, but hey, we have a new open mic at this bar, and you're like, you see who the host is, and whether you know him or not, you're like, did you just like walk into a place one day and you're like, hey, I don't see anything going on here, could I run a comedy show here? And they were like, yes. And you're like, wow, that takes a lot of balls. But then you're also like, oh yeah, but like, places want to get people in the door, and maybe they're fans of comedy also. So they're like, yeah, we're going to start doing comedy here. And then, they want to build on it. And if there's people who are, like not only taking that baton, but having created it in the first place, then all of a sudden you have rooms that you're like, wow, that room's been going for 4 years now, 5 years now. And you're like, when did that start?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you'll see shows being advertised in like Westminster, like places that you're like, oh, I thought those were like suburbs and like quiet communities and stuff like that. And you're like, yeah, but they still have people that want to come out and drink and laugh and.
I did like I did a sick show at like a back speakeasy in a strip mall in Westminster, and it's like, that's like fucking. There's probably so many of those,
right?
And I think it's definitely zero. It's not zero sum where it's like, oh yeah, there's we're at capacity. Like, there's enough rooms. It's like, I think there's probably always more.
Yeah. Well, and then, like, you'll hear that from the people that you're seeing at the same shows over and over again, and then those same people would be like, "Oh, I didn't know there was a room in Inglewood. I didn't know there was a room like do you go down to Springs to their open mic? Do you go down to freaking Trinidad when they do the comedy festival or stuff like that?" You're like, there's a lot of places outside of downtown Denver that are like doing open mic stuff and also creating showcases, like proper regular comedy events. And just because you don't know about them doesn't mean that doesn't mean it's like missing you for it.
Oh, I bet if I don't know about it, it's probably cool.
Yeah. Well, and but what I was going to say earlier is that Denver does have a great resource of like information to point out open mics, new open mics, showcase shows that are happening, regular headliners, all of the like comedy clubs that you probably already know about, and then making that feel like inclusive under the like same umbrella, because at the end of the day, like, it's just people that want to see comedy and perform comedy. So
it's an amazingly beautiful, deranged group of miscreants and misfits that fit well together. Yeah. And I'm grateful that I finally woke up to recognizing that they're my people. So. Before I get you out of here, have you heard of this silly little country called England before?
Mother Russia? I mean, no.
The United Kingdom.
The UK, that's right.
They do this thing over there called knighting.
Oh, okay.
You've heard of this? Sir Elton John and whatnot? Well, here at Top Shelf Studios, after a long-form conversation, I am doing the hiding. Because all my life, people have been like, hey, can you spare a couple inches? How's the weather up there? And things like this. I've really come to realize, now that I finally got this prefrontal lobe, much later than my wife did, I'm waking up in a meat suit every day. I'm like, I am just merely in a very large, tall vehicle. And I look out in the world with my critical lens, and I'm like, we're all judging each other off like the size and color and shape and national origin and sexual preference of these vehicles. And that's just very silly to me. So after a long form conversation, I am pleased to give you your heart height or your spiritual stature.
Nice.
How tall do you stand physically, Aaron MadDog, Rufus Graham?
Oh man, I always say 5'6" on a good day, which means 5'5.5".
MadDog, I heart height the 7 foot.
Yes. Watch out, Wembiyama.
Heart is going to require a procedure. You almost certainly will need a specialist, but I feel special that you gave us some of your time here today.
Hey, thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. Those wings were bomb. The conversation was great. It's good to talk about the,
a lot of shop talk, not really riffing, but we can come back and riff next time.
Right, absolutely. Hey, you gotta feel it out. Next time I'll be silly. I'll bring you some more beers.
Thank you for giving me a good reason to drink local beer. Thank you to our sponsor of not our sponsor, but our sponsor of a good time tonight.
Yeah,
that's Ratio.
Hey, Ratio Beers. We sponsor a good time.
The brew, it works. What's their slogan? Do they have a slogan?
Beer music party is
party.
Which my fellow bartender who I was working with tonight, we have a sandwich board out front that reads Beer Music Party, and she changed it to B Movie Party, and I thought that was hilarious.
That's funny. Also, I find it funny that the tasting notes on this beer are the same tasting notes for my schlong. Lush, smooth, and tropical. What are your schlong tasting notes?
This just says 5 to 6 on a good day.
Where can the people follow you, find you, support you, see you do comedy?
come check me out in the second round of the New Faces contest at Comedy Works. One Wednesday in August. I have yet to see that date yet.
Thank God you gave me enough time.
Yeah,
I thought he was like, next week.
Yeah, no. So I went up week 3 of the contest, and so the first round concludes end of July. So got some time. But I will post those dates on my Instagram, which is my handle is Rufus Spider-Man.
That's a sick handle. Sick handle, sick man. So go follow him.
Follow me at Rufus Spider-Man on Instagram and Aaron Rufus MadDog Graham on all other socials.
See him do some comedy. Thank you for putting up with this little terror as we learn to navigate the world of a studio cat.
Yep, absolutely. Studio cat. Go get yourself a kitten. Props to Sean for rescuing this lovely lady.
Selection system for selecting me. Don't forget to like and subscribe. If you want to hear the eating and support this show, head over to patreon.com/intolerable. And as always, fuck off and be well.
Be well and fuck off.
He doesn't want to fuck around with the United States. Thank you, everybody.